Okay, I will kick this off, I guess. Today is September 27th. It's 6:05 p.m. This is a virtual meeting of the Recreation Commission. Um, and in attendance, we have Caroline Mills, Dory,
Dory
Sheila
Jameson.
Moore, Dory, Sheila, Maddie, and Margie, but it's really, it's not
Roger.
Margie. All right. So I'm going to start. So we'll do approval of the minutes from August 15th, 2022. Did everyone get a chance to review? Okay. And I'll just go down the line and just, do you want like verbal approval?
I think so, because it's recorded. Just roll call
Okay.
would be great.
All right. So Caroline?
Yep.
Sheila?
Yes.
And Melissa is a yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Discussion on vendor contracts.
You want me to take that?
Yeah, go ahead, Dory.
Shannon? So we touched on it at the last meeting and basically kind of came up with something, but we just wanted to make a more formal vote tonight regarding that. So basically it's this. So we were doing the 80-20 split, but we were instructed that it's better to come off the 80-20 split and to do something just, as we talked about at the last meeting, just an hourly wage to rent the camp for the lodge for the hour. So we talked about $20 an hour with a 2-hour minimum. So that's $40. And then an additional $20 for the caretaker fee, which is an extra hour that we pay. It's a half hour before and a half hour after. So basically we're not making money. We're not at all. It's less money, for example, if it was like for the drama kids, just using them as an example, they'll be paying us less. So it's easier on everybody. It's simpler. And all we're doing is recouping the costs that we're paying for the caretakers to be there and, a little bit of the overhead. So I think I would ask you tonight, if you agree with that, if you would take a vote to go with the $20 an hour, 2-hour minimum, and then another $20 for 1 hour to pay for the caretaker cost, half hour before and a half hour after. If that makes sense. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to elaborate.
My only thing would be, and this is Melissa, the only thing I would say would be the 2-hour minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, like the paint night, they don't really go the full 2 hours. It's tough.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying, and for her, I mean, she's, I arranged that whole event and all that stuff. And I totally, definitely our vendors need to, pay something, but she is going to actually be paying more, I think, in this deal.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I just want to throw it out to you guys. And I don't know if we should require the 2-hour minimum and just do a straight $20 an hour. I don't know. Any thoughts?
I don't know what's behind, is there anything behind the 2-hour minimum, or can we still just do 1 hour with a half hour on each side?
And I don't know where the 2-hour minimum came up, Dory. Do you remember? Is that
that was at the last meeting, and I think it basically came from Frank, if I recall.
Yeah,
it was discussion, purposes, and was talked about, and it was $20 an hour at a 2-hour minimum because we have to pay. We have overhead costs, and we have to pay for the caretakers while they're there. So that's what
right. But even if they did, like, just for example, she's there for the hour, right? She's still going to pay the $20, and she's going to pay the half hour before and the half hour after.
Yeah. So she's going to pay $20. Sorry. So she's going to pay $20. So it's not like she's paying $20 and then another $20 for the caretaker. She's paying $20 to rent the lodge And we're using that as, okay, you're paying for the caretaker, and then another 20, because that's what we're paying. We're paying the caretaker for that hour, and then we're paying the caretaker for the half hour before and the half hour
I get
after.
it. So it's not really a 2 hour minimum. It's really, it's really a per
2 hours.
hour, right? And then the hour for the caretaker.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Melissa. Like at the last
Yeah.
meeting, the 2 hour minimum, but most people are there 2 hours minimum, but drama kids are only there for an hour. So it's just, the overhead costs and and things like that. So that is a cost. Well, it's a cost saving measure I'm just using drama kids as an example. It's a definite cost saving measure for her, but it may not be for Paint with Cass. I know what you're saying.
This is
Go ahead,
Sheila. If I remember right, I think we went through this the whole last meeting, and I want to say we discussed that 2 hour minimum and we put that in place as a suggestion for the overhead and everything else, electricity, all the heat, everything. We kind of narrowed it down to that. I remember it was a lengthy discussion, and I think we narrowed it down to if we just had it fall into a 2 hour minimum for everything, then that would kind of pay towards that.
Right, you're right, because we have the overhead, exactly, Sheila, of the electricity and the heat or the air and the insurance and all the overhead costs that are huge for us.
Yeah.
It was just a way so that we're not losing. We're not making any money, but we're not losing either. That you're right. That was the thought process behind that.
Yeah, I think because we went back and forth and back and forth. I think that's what we kind of finally came up with, that would kind of offset it, or at least make it level equal.
Yes, so that we're
Yeah,
not
I
losing
guess
money.
I was just because the 2 hour minimum just like threw me off, because I'm like, wait a second, is it a 2 hour minimum plus the caretaker fee? You know what I mean? Like that's what threw me off about the 2 hour. And now I remember.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so do you need a motion, Dory?
Yes, if you wouldn't mind.
Is there any more discussion on it? I think we've talked about it.
Yeah. Dead horse. Beating.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to change our vendor, a motion to change our vendor fee from the 80-20 split to $20 an hour with a 2 hour minimum to cover caretaker fees and operations of the lodge. Looking for a second.
Second.
Sheila is a second.
Oh, sorry, I just say my name.
That's okay. Caroline?
Aye.
Sheila?
Aye.
And Melissa, I'm an aye.
Excellent. Thank you.
So Dory, going forward, are we going to change the vendor agreement for this? And how are we gonna notify the vendors?
I did notify the vendors. I invited them tonight, but they were unable to make tonight, but I explained to them what was happening and if what would be voted tonight. So yeah, I'll draw up new vendor contracts for them.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, next item, CPC meeting follow-up. Is this Caroline or Dory?
Yeah, Caroline went to the meetings. Caroline, I don't want to steal your thunder at all. So if you want to, I have all the information you sent me, which was great. So I don't know if you wanted to take it or,
I did. I actually wasn't able to make the meeting, but Frank did go, and then we talked afterwards, and he basically said to me that the CPC wants us to work on the Form A's, which is what we're doing to get them going. They need to be ready by their meeting for October 12th so that we can get on the town meeting warrant. We'll need to have separate forms. They're splitting it up into 5 areas. So there's Cove landscaping design and renovation. There's Cove playground, stormwater management system for the Cove, the stormwater management study, and the beach bathhouse rebuild. And then we were going to reach out to John to have him sit down with us just to go over the applications to make sure we weren't missing any information before we actually put them in. And then I think if they, if they can review this by October meeting, which would allow us to get it on to the town meeting in May, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're in right now, they're in just a draft. There's a bunch of information that I don't have that I'm able to put in there. So I did reach out to Frank. Said he was away last week, so he was gonna touch base with me this week to kind of add some more information in that. So that's kind of where we're at. I don't know if you have any more information, Dory.
No, thank you. Everything you sent me, those 5 pieces was great. I'm just going to go through what you highlighted and fill in what I have, and then I'll touch base with Frank. And yeah, we'll definitely move forward with it. Thank you so much for getting us to this point. That's a big help. Just getting the ball rolling is sometimes the hardest thing. So thank you so much.
There's some definite odd questions. So
yeah.
Okay. Is that all we had for that?
Yes, just
Anyone have anything else? Okay. Special town meeting articles.
I can take that, Madam.
Yeah,
Chairwoman,
go ahead,
if you like. So as you know, special town meeting is Monday, and the Recreation Commission submitted 3 articles. One was to change the name of the commission from the Recreation Commission to the Camp Kewaunee Commission, reasoning being that it's more in keeping with the tasks of the commission. The second article was to update the wage and personnel, updating the that's in the warrant currently, the range from what it was mostly like 1450 to 20, and basically increasing it up to 25, which gives us some wiggle room to be able to pay accordingly. And the third article we submitted was to transfer our retained earnings into our budget for the fall to be able to use it for specific things. For instance, we found out we had an additional $39,000 just for our insurance because the camp wasn't insured before. So that's on us. So we didn't budget for that. So we have that. And then we had about, $19,000 for the new security system and about $12,000 for the landscaping in the front and about $9,700 to increase our salary line item. So we're basically transferring $80,000 out of our retained earnings. When free cash was certified in the fall, we have 135. So we're being conservative and we're only taking 80,000 of that and we're applying it to our budget where we most need it for a little bit of salary and mostly expenses to do the things that we want to get done until May. So I don't know if anyone has any questions on that. I'd be happy to explain. The good thing is this is the first time I think in a long time that we're transferring our own retained earnings. That just means taking it from one of our pockets and putting it in the other. We're using our program revenues and our retained earnings. Before we were going to the town for money.
Right.
And we're not. We're taking $80,000 out of our own money to use it, the way that we think it to be used best until May. So that's very exciting, I think. That we're not looking for a subsidy. We're funding it on our own. So that's a win-win for everybody, for the town, for us.
Yep, agreed.
So yeah. So anyway, that's been done. The warrants out to the printer and all that's done. But I just wanted everybody to be aware that that's where that's what our involvement is at the special town meeting. So pretty easy, nothing confrontational, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, it's very good. We're not asking for anything, so.
Cool. Okay. Cove landscaping and renovation. Roger, do you want to take this or Dory? Or?
Yeah, why doesn't Roger take this one? Thank you.
Thank you. I actually had a meeting today. It was a nice, productive one with 2 of the conservation members and 1 Board of Health member. We're all very concerned about possible next rainstorm that could hit as soon as Monday. And so we're trying to take measures to do a temporary repair. I'm just waiting to hear back from them. I thought I was going to get a call back today, but I didn't. We're going to try and divert the water so it doesn't go on the beach this time. But we are all planning on trying to resolve some issues rather than put some Band-Aids on like it has been in the past. I made suggestions. We put a berm in between the parking lot and the fence to raise the property up there so the water can't overflow like it has in the past between the fence and the bathhouse. The other thing I want to do, if they will approve, is open up that water retention bin into a twice the size it is. They're also looking at allowing me to dig out a section of the back of it so it will flow over easier heading towards the stream that's back there, but it has a lot of leaves and everything, a lot of natural filtration systems before it gets to the stream. They're very happy about that. And like I say, I'm just waiting to hear whether I can do that or not. I'm going to try and do it by hand rather than having machinery come in there, if at all possible to be done. The other thing I wanted to do and suggested to them, and I think they're on board, is the opposite side of the road. Want to put a water retention bin there below the hill coming off the camp, because a lot of water comes down from up there. So by slowing a lot of the water down, we may never have, I don't want to say never, may not have an issue like we have in the past years. So these are all the things that are in the works. They do like the idea for the bees to grass in a certain section of the beach section that's there now to lessen the bees. And also it can be a little bit of a water filtration. And with trees there, it can absorb water into the trees. So that's all that's going on right now on our side. Not asking for funds right now, other than he may have me buy an additional, maybe up to 20 bales of hay to put along this area to block the water from going in. I don't know that for sure. Just like a vote of confidence from you guys and allow me to purchase if that's something they request. The last bales, which I bought the other day, were like $10 a bale. I got 4 of them, which was not a big price. But we're talking possibly as many as 20 bales of hay to cover the area they're talking. So if you guys allow me to go out and purchase those, I will if they request it. And that's pretty much all I have on the cove itself at this time.
Roger, when you say they, are you talking about the landscaping company that came in to give a quote?
No, this is the 2 members of the Conservation Committee that was up there today. And not that he had any involvement really, the member of the Board of Health. We don't have any bids yet for the landscape company that I'm aware of for doing what they want to do or what we want to do on the beach side of the fence.
I think we have to figure out what we can do, right?
Right.
Isn't that the whole process?
It all has to work in together, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's my understanding we do have Frank met with somebody and that we do have something to work off of. And I'm just trying to gain access to that to fill in information on those applications. That's why I just was
Yeah.
asking for that. So,
Yeah,
We had
you're
all
correct,
met with the-
Caroline. Yeah, because Frank and I and Roger met with Ed Sheehan, the landscaping company, and he's putting together a proposal based on our conversations of a broad scope of, what it may cost and what it may look like. You're right. So we're waiting on that, like Roger said. We haven't received anything to date. I was in touch with him today and we're still waiting.
okay.
So I just need you guys okay to buy hay if they request it.
So I guess, Dory, we have to make a motion for the bales of hay.
It doesn't really require a motion, Melissa, as
Okay.
long as you guys are in the loop, we have the funding for it. And
Yeah.
if it's required by the town, it's required, but we just want you to know that this is money, we're spending. It's not like we're spending it on flowers and stuff.
Right. It's like
You
more
know,
maintenance.
Ye-
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so you're aware.
Okay.
Okay.
Roger, are you trying to get those before Monday's storm? Is that what you're talking about? Possibly like this week?
It's very possible. I'm waiting for the one member on the Conservation Committee to give me a call and let me know whether it's a go to move forward or leave things alone.
Gotcha.
And then just if I could just stick with the cove for a minute, I talked to Roger a little bit on Sunday about the process of winterizing. Roger, do you want to talk about that? The shutting down the cove officially and winterizing everything and shutting it down?
Okay, as of today, I pulled in all the docks, the ladders, all that's been pulled in today. And I'm gonna shut the water off from that and drain it and flush it out with air real soon, either this week or next week, depending on where I have to put my efforts. If I have to put the efforts into preparing for the storm, that'll be done first.
Agreed.
But as
Okay.
time goes, each section that needs to be winterized will get done based on our rentals.
Great.
I
Do
feel
you-
like we literally just talked about opening this all up. I can't believe we're even talking about winterizing
I
already.
know, seriously, I agree.
Well,
Wow.
it's been closed. It was really disappointing to close it, but I mean, we had to. It was dangerous. At least I think it was only like 2 more weeks, I think, or
Yeah, it was
wasn't.
toward the end of the season.
Yeah. I guess we were kind of talking about the landscaping. Oh, Roger, do you want to talk about the landscaping outside, out front, and the cabin rebuild?
All right, if you want me to jump ahead, sure, that's fine. Yes, we had Mr. Sheehan in for a couple of days. He did the landscaping out front. Put in, I think it was 6 trees, a bunch of mulch, put in a stone walkway out to the fire pit and added to the fire pit circle there, expanding it out. He also dug a trench for me so I could bury piping for the electrician to come in and extend the wiring from where it's at to the flagpole, so we don't have to have the power cord sitting on the ground anymore. I'm working on getting prices for aerating the lawn and overseeding it just within that circle. I do not have prices back as of yet. We'll keep you informed on that. Up at the new cabin, he also was able to dig a trench from the south end bathroom to the telephone pole to repair, replace, and put the wiring underground instead of being above ground and being available for other trees to take it down again. So that is in process. I have the pipe work that I'm going to lay in there. Time is not one of my best friends at this time, but I will get the pipe in and the electrician will do the work he has to extend that wiring there and also into the new cabin. So far in the new cabin, I have 2 bunk beds made. Waiting to confirm on money source that I have money left over that I can put in 4 more beds in there. I have the paint for it. I just got to find time to paint the complete exterior of it. Get rid of the white and bring it into brown. That's pretty much in there. I got one more item. Do you want me to continue or do you want to wait till it gets down to caretaker?
And just and Roger, just so when we talked about the cabin's beautiful, everything's beautiful. It's amazing. You did a great job. Just when, the weather and stuff like coming up, I think you also said you were going to try to put some coverings on the windows
I want to make
for that new cabin.
Yes, I want to make shutters. And the plan is to make the shutters sliding instead of on hinges going up and down. This way, if they slide, they won't have the access for the wind to blow them and bang them around. Less chances of damage on them.
Okay, great. Did you guys have anything, Sheila or Caroline? Okay. All right. That takes care of the new business, I think. Dory, do we have any old business correspondence?
Not from my end.
Okay. All right. Team reports. What are the teams now, I guess? Roger, do you want to continue? We got the facilities, I guess. That's you.
Okay. Going back to that CPC meeting that Frank went to, I went to it as well. I've talked to the board and I need to find time to have John Kemet come out and go over things with me. He's agreed to do that and show me what I can and can't do out there. I had provided a big long list, which I knew some of the stuff I wouldn't be able to do, but if you don't ask, you don't get it. So he's going to come out and walk the north section with me, and we're gonna get a yay and nay on everything we can do. And I'm gonna try and do that work through the winter months, provided Mother Nature is kind to us and we can do that. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay, and the one last thing I have is I've talked to Dory regarding it, and I'd like to put a sign out front where the sign is now, just to let people know that they can book their holiday banquets, whatever, with us. A lot of people don't know we're back there, and if we can book 1 or 2 Christmas parties, why not?
Mhm.
So I just want everybody to know that there will be a small sign put out there in sight so people can see it.
Will it stick in the ground, Roger? How do you gonna?
I'm
You're gonna-
thinking about mounting it to the post so it
Okay.
can't blow away.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
And then I also had talked to Roger too, Sheila and Caroline about, I actually drove by the other night and the sign is super dark, like on the street. There's like no streetlights right there. And so I suggested to Roger, and I was going to send you a couple links, Roger, of solar spotlights.
Yep.
Just to put one on each side of the sign pointing up to light it up a little bit because it's super dark. You really can't see it, especially like when you come around the corner going towards town. So I thought I would send Roger some links on that, and they're fairly cheap.
Yeah, that's fine. We've
Yeah.
been talking about it, but we haven't got to it. So yeah, if you can send me some links, that'd be great.
Yeah. Yep.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
We wanted to do the flagpole too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I guess the events, we just had the wedding expo on Sunday. So thank you to Dory and Roger for working the table. And Jen was there as well, helping out. Dory, I don't even know how many vendors there were, probably like 10 or 15, maybe.
Yeah, 50, at least
Yeah.
15 minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah, very successful. It was, 12 to 2 was just packed, nonstop, people coming, going. It was very festive. It was really nice to see all the vendors, and they had the food trucks, and it was great. We got a couple of calls today, two, in
Okay.
fact, from Sunday, to book.
Oh, good.
Yeah, people were interested. So it was a great day.
Yeah, Dory did some tours as
Yep.
well.
And Roger did too.
Yeah, Roger was doing tours. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Perfect. All right. Maddie, you're up, I think. Caretaker report. You have anything?
I don't have anything.
No? Okay.
Are we doing a Halloween thing this year? I'm just asking. Did we
That's-
not
if-
book it? Oh, I thought we had booked it.
No, if I may, Madam Chairwoman, that's a
Go
great
ahead.
question. It's, we always did the Halloween spectacular and we haven't talked about it yet. So yeah, here we are, Saturday, October 1st. So that's
I don't think
something-
we don't have
we
any
haven't-
dates.
we don't have anything. We haven't really done anything about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we looked at this a couple months ago, and there was just no way we could fit it anywhere.
We were booked with weddings all through
Mhm.
October.
Yeah, we had prior discussed that we weren't able to do it this October, but we were definitely going to put it on the books for next October because it was missed.
Yes.
And I think too, we should talk about Sheila and Caroline, maybe doing like a Christmas one instead.
Yeah.
We had done like a Christmas, maybe we could think about doing something like a Christmas walk or
Okay.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
Well, we definitely have enough supplies for Christmas stuff.
We do. We have enough lights, Sheila, right?
Yes, Caroline. Come get it.
Goodness gracious. All right,
All
cool.
right.
Yeah, so we'll talk.
why
we
don't
can
I- Why don't I put the Winter Wonderland or Christmas Spectacular on the next agenda?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds good. We could pick a
Okay.
date and go through
Yeah.
and
Perfect.
and my only other thing that I had was we really need to put on the agenda either for next time or the time after. We need to talk about beach director hiring and what we want to do about the beach next year. If we are hiring somebody, and are we going to do swim lessons? We really need to start talking about that right now because
Yeah, we've been speaking with Margaret Cameron Hickey and
Yeah.
ask her to come to the meeting in October.
okay,
To begin discussions on that exactly.
okay, cool.
Yep. Because that's something that's we got to talk about now.
Yeah.
Right. And extra help, I think, too, even for, event caretakers.
Yep.
Now's the time to do it for the spring.
Yep. Anything else anybody has? Oh, when is our next meeting? Did we talk about
I would say, next meeting probably October 17th, because the Monday before that is Columbus Day. So it just seems like the 17th, maybe what you want to look at,
Okay.
because the 10th is a holiday. The 3rd is town meeting. The 10th is a holiday. Then there's the 17th, and then there's the 24th, and then there's Halloween. So I guess either the 17th or the 24th. Seems like the 17th might be,
Yeah.
middle of the month type thing.
Yeah, I think that works. That works for me.
Works for me.
Okay.
We just check with Frank Dory just to confirm and then,
Yes, I have. Yeah, that's
Okay.
okay with him. Yeah,
okay.
perfect.
All right, guys.
All right.
36 minutes, Melissa.
Really? Is that a record?
Yahoo! Yeah, and we started late. 32 minutes.
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you so much, Melissa. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Feel better, Caroline.
Yeah, feel better, Caroline.
Oh, do I have to adjourn?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
please.
What do I have to do? Motion to adjourn. Motion to adjourn. Sheila?
Second.
Aye.
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 All right.
All is well. All right.
Well,
Feel better.
Bye, all.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.